Good morning. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
I'm all right, sir. I'm blessed, man. Do this last Saturday of the month with you.
Yes, sir.
Eh,
Yes, sir. It's a beautiful day here in sports talk world. It's a beautiful day where I am. Got a nice, beautiful sun. Still a little chilly, but that's all right. It's still spring, and I got Pup right here. I don't know if he want to say hello, but I know he showed messing with me early this morning. Make sure I gave him a snack when I had mine, but I
right.
guess it didn't work because he's still messing with me. Is that what jersey you got over there, sir?
Got on Duke, Christian Laettner.
Okay, they got a big game coming up this weekend. We're gonna get to that. That's gonna be a part of our predictions, and we're gonna give some kudos to the coach who's seemingly keeping the program together. I guess Krzyzewski made the right decision.
John Shire.
Mr. Shire, yeah, Mr. Shire. I still wanted the guy from Harvard to come on down, but I guess he said you already got a job. Let's give somebody else a job. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to the Brown family and their time of bereavement, and let the family know that we love them and everything's gonna be okay, and definitely keeping them in my prayers. And just in this time, just want to say hello and let them know we all love them. So I'm going out to the Brown family. All right, let's see here. We already got some people coming in. Mr. Stephen Harris, good morning, sports fans. And Mr. Kenneth Hobby, good morning, fellas. Good morning to you, gentlemen. Don't forget that we got our free Saturday subject coming up. So get ready to bring a subject to us that we can discuss and make sure you're a part of as well. Go ahead and put that inside the chat. This is the second week we've having that topic, free Saturday, so we can dedicate a little segment to it. And the more and more it popularly get, the more and more we'll do to expand it. So we're gonna give you time to think about a good topic that's gonna be in the back of the show. So on the last 30 to 45 minutes, we're gonna get to that side. And as you can see, already got our topic of the week up. Can you believe it? Caitlyn Clark has started a bidding war. She didn't specifically do it, but a couple gentlemen out there in the sports sphere has said they want them to come join their organizations. My question is, how is it going to affect them going to the WNBA? We got Ice Cube offering $5 million for her to come to play in the Big Three this summer. And I think that's great because they will make that money back in about an hour. They said now for sales, every city they will get women involved with being there. And right behind that, the owner of Stoopid Sports says, $5 million, that's nothing. I'll give you $10 million just to come play on our intramural basketball league. Wow. Just to come play intramural. So, of course they'll find a way to monetize it themselves and then and at the same time, put it on TV for pay-per-view, however they want to do it. Barstool Sports has a reputation of doing the outrageous. So the question is, can she do one, two, or all three? Because the WNBA is like the NBA. They like Caesar. You can't serve two masters. Are they going to allow them her to go and play in all three leagues? What's your thoughts on that, sir?
Man, I'll be glad when this is over, man. I really will. I'll be glad because they acting like she the best thing since mom's apple pies. Like she just the best thing to ever pick up a basketball. Like there's so many females that have came before her, and it's gonna be females that come after her. But I just be glad when it's over, man. For real. Like go wherever, go play for Belle Isle. I don't care. I'm just saying, man. It's
No, hold on. You think I don't think it's going to be over. Caitlyn Mania has a lot of legs to it. I don't see him being over unless she get hurt and can't play anytime or something like that anytime soon. Even in her rehab, they're gonna follow her around like a chicken with its head cut off.
What I'm saying is, okay, here we go. I'm glad I'm on the show today. Here we go. Are y'all not forgetting there's a basketball team out there that's 34-0? How many losses she got? Do you realize they got a freshman? Do you realize they got a freshman that just signed with Seth Curry?
Mm-hmm.
So why are we not talking about that? She not even undefeated. She don't even have a championship. This is what I'm saying. This is why, man. What's the next topic? Man, what's the next topic, man?
I think it's something to talk about, though. I think it's fair for us to go ahead and talk about what she has. I'm not saying we're not taking anything away from her as a player. The girl, she can ball. She can put up numbers on any night. She has a tough game tonight. If it's not tonight, it's tomorrow.
It's today.
It's today.
They play Colorado.
They play Colorado. They play the 1 versus the 5. And if they win that game, they could possibly play against LSU. And LSU, in my opinion, is a better team than Iowa. Iowa has Caitlyn, but we can't overlook Colorado because Colorado
Colorado ain't bad neither, right?
They jumped on
LSU.
LSU first game of the season. They didn't see it coming. Next, you look up, they eyes were literally like this at the end of the game. Like, what just happened? They didn't expect it to happen. So, of course, what I'm saying is, Colorado's not going to sneak up on anybody, but they're a very good team. So they're the 5 team. So in that bracket. So that's going to be a tough game tonight. So I'm looking forward to having things on in the background while I do what I'm supposed to do. While I have to pay Caesar, have things on in the background while I take care of business. So yeah, it's gonna be the women's bracket has almost fallen true to form, and we're gonna get to that. We're gonna that's our second topic after NFL. Women's for some as always, I can't say as some reason, but for the most part, the women's bracket falls true to form. It's very few upsets on the women's side, but on the guys' side, it's almost any given Sunday. That's why they call it March Madness because of the guys' side. But I'm very intrigued how this is going to play out, and if she's going to take any of the offers, because right now she's almost doing the Taylor Swift. Oh shucks, I can't believe this is really happening right now. And she says that I'm going to concentrate on the season, talk about that stuff later. But at the same time, it's still Caitlyn mania. It just makes me laugh to see you over there like, okay, I'm going to let you have this. I like Caitlyn a lot. I like the fact that she's a competitor. But, she should have had a few more technicals over the season for all the arguing she did, especially in the tournament. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump off into the new rules for college football for NFL. The new kickoff rule. It's almost like I kind of liken it to a rugby scrum. If you've seen it at the USFL last year, that's what they did it. I like it because it creates fun. It creates a play where now in the NFL, this is all you see. You see them, I don't know if you can see my arm. They put their hands in the chest, they stick their arms out, ball going in the end zone, and nobody runs, nobody kicks off. So that's how they do it now. Steve said, how do they do an onside kick? They have to actually notify the other team if they're going to do an onside kick. And then they move everybody up. Yeah. Okay. Now, the rule where they have it now, the kicker stands on, I think it's the opposite 30. And all the players stand on the other side of the 30 within 10 yards of each other. And there is a buffer zone between the end zone and I think the 20-yard line. As long as the ball lands in that area, you have to run it out. If it bounces in there and bounces in the end zone, it's a touchback, and the ball goes to, I want to say, the 25. But you can't take a fair catch. You got to catch and you got to run it out. So there's like a lot of space between the kicker and the kickoff team that's going to make the tackle. So how do you do an onside kick? You got to notify the other team and say, hey, we're going to do an onside. Everybody moves back, and then you go to the regular onside rules. I like it.
Man, leave stuff alone. Please, just leave stuff alone. Deacon Jones, all them probably like, are you serious? This is what we used to play for? Man, just leave stuff alone. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Man.
I can see you saying that. I can see, but there was a time when you saw we had a Devin Hester. Devin Hester was going to run that joke out. You don't kick it to Deshaun. What's Deshaun's last name that played for Philly? You didn't want to kick it to Deshaun. You knew better. Deshaun Jackson. And who was the guy who played for the Lions who was running kickoff all the time back in
Mel
the
Gray.
80s. Right after Mel Gray. It was another guy, little
Willie
short muscle.
Green.
Say it again.
Willie Green.
Was it Willie Green? But we had kickoff returners back in the day. Billy White Shoes
Oh, you
Johnson.
talking about the dude that he came out and downed it at the 2, but he thought he was still in the what's the name? He thought he was still in the end zone. We shipped him to the 49ers. That
No,
was
not him. This was before him.
You mean somebody else?
This was like late 80s, early 90s. I remember seeing him at Soul Night. I ain't never seen a guy so built like that in my life. I'm like, how he run? He can't even dance because he couldn't move.
Terry Fair?
Not Terry Fair. Terry Fair, yeah, he's the defensive back, the one that they shouldn't have took instead of taking Randy Moss. I know you're talking about, but he actually played with Terry Fair. But it'll come to you. If anybody can remember that guy, it wasn't Mel Gray. It might have been Mel Gray, but because now I think about it, but he was one of the best return guys. But we need to bring that action back.
Mel Gray said you just got to hit the hole. That's what he told you. But Mel was just too small. That's all.
Yeah,
but he had some speed though. He did.
But you got to remember, back in those days, everybody ran the wedge.
Right.
And they had to get away from the wedge because it was too dangerous.
Correct.
So it went from the wedge to everybody sprinting, picking your guy. When I played, we had this thing where we had a guy opposite, and if you got to your block, he was always a touchdown. Usually that, depending on if you knew what you were watching on film. But now it's college or pro. Right. Nobody hardly ever runs the ball back anymore. Right. They're free. You can the rules before now was you can take you can just wave your hand, catch the ball. They put the ball on 35. You've done nothing. So I understand why they would want to make the change. If they're not going to, the next change, the change they really should have made was to have no kickoffs at all, unless you're just kicking a field goal and kick the kickoff after a touchdown. Just put the ball on the 25-yard line and go from there. If you really want to make a save, if you really want to say you're doing it for safety's sake, that's what you should do. But I don't make money. I don't make the NFL money. I barely make the money that I got coming in. So what do I know? I would hope that this would catch on, honestly, because it brings some excitement. It brings a lot of excitement. I just hope that they don't do the kickoff when the kickoff like they do when they would roll the ball out and whoever would run and catch it, get the ball first, and that's who got the ball first. People get hurt doing that. You remember that? When they would put the ball on the 50-yard line and roll it out, and the guys would knock each other out to go and get the ball to see which team got first. Right. A lot of guys got hurt doing that. We don't want to go back to that. Right. But I understand it. But the next rule we have is the hip drop rule. They changed it so you cannot make a hip drop tackle. And so you go once you grab the guy, you can't take and then drop your hips to bring the guy down. They say it's unsafe. They got people getting hurt. They liken it to a horse collar tackle, and that was the next rule that they took out.
Why don't we just put flags around them and just call it flag football?
Yeah, and to me, what I always liken it back to was when Stephon Diggs caught that ball when he was playing for Minnesota. Tackling, that was the year they first took the blindside hits out of the game, totally out of the game. So I understood that, but it made Stephon Diggs a star. That defensive back couldn't come across the top and knock that guy out like they did in the old days.
Correct.
So he catches the ball, the guy doing his best not to get a penalty, not to hurt his team, takes a total miss. Because they changed the tackling rules. So here's another rule I can understand them putting in the horse collar. Horse collar hurt a lot of people. I can understand them, helping the quarterback out in terms of can't hit below the knee and can't hit too high. Right. But I think it should be to the point where if the quarterback is in the pocket and you go to tackle the quarterback, all you got to do to me is put two hands on him. The minute you get two hands on him and grab him and look at the referee, it should be automatic stop and play. Because if you really about taking care of your quarterback, that's what you want to do. Of course, quarterbacks are nowadays worth half $1 billion. And they're making all this money, $25-30 million a season. Of course, you want to protect that investment. To me, that makes sense. But I don't know about the hip drop rule. And so Steven says it's a result of momentum. I understand you're trying to break the momentum. It kind of, not really, but kind of a little bit reminds me of how Bo Jackson got hurt in terms of the tackle that he got. So, I can, it goes back a while. It goes back a good ways. So what's the defensive people are like this, how are we going to tackle him now? Because here I go to tackle this guy. He's still trying to move with all his might, and I got a hold of this guy. Normally the only thing I have recourse is to drop my hips to bring him down. But now they're saying, no, you can't do that. And so I can understand the frustration defensively. As a defensive guy, I love to hit people and we love to take people out. But, I don't think we called it a hip drop back there. It was just bring them down. Of course, you had a form tackle. You wrap through them, and you put your head on one side. So you keep your head up so you won't get hurt, get a stinger or break your neck, and you drive through. But you don't always get that opportunity to face a man straight up. You got to, if you're chasing a man on the angle, the guy got good speed. You got to catch that angle. If you're doing, your math, here and you there, you're not gonna catch him straight. You got to catch that angle. And if you're on that angle, the best way to make the tackle is that hip drop tackle. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens moving forward. I'm sorry, I lost my sheet. I gotta go back to it. There we go. Bam. All right, back. All right. I can see again. All right. So the hip drop tackle is it's going to be something to see moving forward in terms of how things are going to be affected in the game. It's going to be as always. It's an adjustment. It's always an adjustment. So we're going to see how of course, the referees are going to be very, very, very tough calling it in the very beginning, and so we're going to see how it works out. Of course, we want to make sure we click like, click share. Say and let's see. Can we see that? Because I got my. Let's see what's that. Let me move my microphone. There we go. Can we see it now? There we go. Greatest journey every day, Mr. Marcus Holmes. Thank you, Mr. Marcus Holmes, for working in the background, doing what you do to make sure that the show is successful, and to make sure people get on the phone, call them up. Kamau and Felix on here talking that crazy sports again. We trying to have a good show, and remember. Free Saturday. We need a topic. I didn't bring a topic this week. I want to trust in the people who are here to bring us a good topic so we can talk about stuff. I can extend it. We can always figure something out, but we want the people who are here to let us know what's going on. And let's see here. And I know I got Greg. I see you on here. Thank you, sir, for coming out. I think he was the one who gave me this topic about the hip drop tackle. Make sure I remember to put it in there. Thank you very much, sir, for that. And we're going to move on to the heart of the show, NBA, college basketball, both men and women. So here we go. It's going down. What? The Pistons, 13-61. We have 70. They played, what's that? Is that 79, 74 games? 74 games. 16. 8 games left in the season. Will we get to 16 wins? Can we go 3-5 over the next 8 to get 16 wins?
You got to figure them last two. The last two, they're gonna be playing people who ain't never played, right? Yeah, they can get 6 in.
The Pistons or the other team?
Both.
They come out trading Jaden Ivey in the offseason, which I think is a mistake. I think they should keep 3 or 4 of those guys. I've been saying that for the last 3 years. Keep the core and get rid of everybody else.
Trade Cade. Don't trade Ivy. Trade Cade. But then if you saying back, I remember you saying in some shows before that him and Monty kind of, then yeah, you got to. I mean, they're not gonna trade Monty, right? Right. So you got to trade Jaden Ivey. So yeah. So.
Yeah. That unfortunately. That's my opinion, but that's just exactly what happened. We are pontificating, giving the hot stove, and that's just what happened. Jaden Ivey's production has gone down over the last week or so. Last 4 or 5 games, his averages are going down, his percentages is going down. So that's just exactly what might happen. And I would hate to see him go. Hometown kid who wanted to be here. How often do you have a guy that come in the league and say, "I want to come to Detroit"? So you don't get that very often. So I'm hoping that situation can work itself out, and I'm hoping that they can win some games. Because right now, 13 games. That's absurd. That's absurd. For a professional team where you can control the people you bring into your situation. Sometimes you got a high school and they don't have a lot of talent in that area. Ain't much you can do about that. Colleges sometimes you don't have a good reputation for winning. People don't want to go there, so I can understand that. Speaking of, shout out to UD Mercy. There's been years and a lot of years in between where that program was really, really good, and all of a sudden the program goes down, and right now it's in a downswing. I really would like to see them come back and do well, but how easy is it to track people to 6 Mile, Illinois? That's not an easy thing. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? What's over there? Greg's Pizza.
Yeah.
So
you got McDonald's on the corner.
Yeah, McDonald's.
And across from McDonald's is Mickey D's.
Yeah. You go get you some good Coney Island, but how hard is that to attract kids to come play there? If you're not from this area, and not from this area, you don't understand the lay of the land. You're not gonna really want to go down there to go. No. It's a good education, and it really is. UD Mercy is a good education, but in terms of attracting people for sports,
not so much.
they get a good softball team. They always got a good softball team over there. The softball program is always pretty good. Marcus says, "Stay off Greg's Pizza." Greg's Pizza is great. That's a great place to go.
You know what? I used to think they was, but I found somebody a little bit better. I ain't been to Greg's in a minute.
Where you go?
I go to Bob's on 7 Mile and right past Evergreen. They know me by when they pick up. Soon as I dial, she be like, "Phil." I'm like, "Yeah." She like, "The usual." Yep, 30 minutes. Greg, the only reason I grew up on Greg, so I could contest with Marcus. Yes, Greg, but you gotta try Bob's. I ain't been to Greg's since I tried Bob's. Woo! Matter of fact, I'm going today.
I just spoke about.
Yeah.
Well, they are back in last place. We talked about that last week, but next we have Mr. Jonte Porter. He's under NBA gambling investigation. They're saying that he has been betting on NBA games. They didn't say it was the Timberwolves specifically, but they said he's been betting on NBA games and other sports games, which is illegal. And to me, that bothers me. Why? Gambling is everywhere. And to me, it's almost hypocritical to say they can't gamble. When you go in the locker room, what they playing? They playing cards for money. You're gonna stop them from gambling on other games. Stop them from gambling on cards. They shooting dice. They playing money for you keep hearing about their favorite game is called Boo Ray. I don't know how to play it, but they talk about how they gamble on that game for high stakes money. And they talked about how in the past, guys, well, not in the past, but people fight over that because they want their money because how much money people owe each other from playing these games. So if that's the case, you got to legislate all that stuff out. But here it is. You got players right on their phone. They got all these websites where they can easily bet on.
Right, DraftKings and
everything. So at some point, it's going to have to be some kind of a dispensation where you can't bet on your sport, or you can't bet on. Right. Of course, you shouldn't be able to bet on your team.
Right.
But so to me, it's a big ask not to ask them to not bet at all. I understand the reasons behind it because at this point, once you start betting, it's all of the objectivity of the game goes out, and we want people to understand that the games aren't fixed, even though a lot of times people tell you the games are scripted, no matter what the sport. They say may not be fixed, but it's scripted. I don't know how true that is, but sometimes it seems like that stuff is very, very true. I hope everything works out because his brother Micah said, I don't see my brother doing that. What are your thoughts on the sports gambling society, sir?
I mean, I agree with you. You're gonna have to, if you're gonna, you can't say betting on that. It's wrong. But like you said, isn't that what Gilbert Arenas and the guy got into it about gambling and when they brought the guns? That's right.
That's
So
what happened.
if you're gonna disbar everything, you got to disbar everything. You can't just say, okay, this is okay, but this ain't okay. Nah. If that's the case, bring Pete Rose. Put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame.
That'll never happen.
I mean, we never know, right? One day that's the thing. You never know. We never know. We don't know what the future holds. Because they might say, you know what? For him not getting in, that's punishment enough. Put him in.
Well, that's the case. They got to go back and get Shoeless Joe, too.
Yeah.
So Shoeless Joe been dead 100 years, and he not going in. So, it's what I like to see Pete Rose go in. Yeah, I was always a Pete Rose fan, and I know people that played in the league with him, and they talk about Pete Rose and betting was the least of their worries of the things that Pete Rose did when he played back in the league. So a couple of gentlemen I know, they were like, "Oh, Pete, yeah, he was something else. Yeah, betting was nothing." That's what they would always, and it was a big laugh right afterwards. Yeah. So I would like to see him get in. I would like to see the guys be able to. There should be some kind of something allow, for the betting. I understand that. Because we talked about it before. The college kids, they brought down almost a whole team. People having golf issues out there, not with golf issues out there, betting on their, not only their team but other stuff like that. So we understand that's what's going on.
Right.
I went to another side to see Greg Brown's comments. He said he made he spoke about Miss Jane Ivy's mama and her ability to be seen beautifully. And let's see here. He said we should make a flag football, make football flag football. Peter get in posthumously. And I guess he wants us to talk about the transfer portal. So those are things that we can talk about that in our. So we also got the topic for the free topic, Masters Golf, and the transfer portal. So we're gonna look towards trying to add that towards the end. And really quickly for baseball, let's see here, Minnesota Timberwolves. And also, this is basketball. The Timberwolves owners will not sell to their stake to Alex Rodriguez and Mark Lohr. They've been trying to buy those teams for a little while, and they've nixed that for the time being. Never say never. Alex Rodriguez, for some reason, he made a whole lot of people mad. So a lot of people don't like doing business with him. So I hate to say this, people are gonna be mad at me for saying this. If J-Lo don't want nothing to do with him, he must not be that great of a person. J-Lo.
Oh, they not together no more?
No. She back with Terrible Batman. What's the
Ben Affleck?
Yeah, Ben Affleck. That's funny if you know when I say who bear, huh?
She went back to Ben Affleck?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they I think they married. They've been together like 3-4 years now.
Man, she don't know what she won't neither, man.
Yeah, she do. She want the money.
Yeah, but Ben Affleck, what's the last movie he been in? The Town?
Ben produces in the background. Ben makes the good money. He makes the smart money. He makes the behind the camera money.
Oh, okay. Oh, dang, she got rid of Rodriguez. I ain't know that.
Yeah. Yep. All right, let's jump into men's college basketball. We had some good upsets over the last couple of days. Alabama beat North Carolina by 2. Let's see here. We got Clemson over Arizona. That was a close game. Duke over Houston, and NC State over Marquette. NC State Marquette game. It was, in terms of it was an upset in terms of what I was saying, the numbers, but I don't think that was real upset in terms of an upset. Duke over Houston really was an upset to me because Houston was not playing at their midseason form. That Clemson Arizona, that was pretty tough. That was a good upset. And Alabama over North Carolina, even with the kid that they had last year that went to the league, they still ain't saying nothing about who killed that girl. But of course, they swept that under the rug. as they often do. What you think about these upsets, sir?
Go back to what I initially always told you at the beginning. These coaches can recruit. They can't. They can recruit. They can't coach. You lost in the Houston and Duke game. Yes, you lost the Big 12 Player of the Year. You lost the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year. You're supposed to develop your players for the next man up. Mm-hmm. That's on Calvin Sampson. That's not on the University. Not on the Houston Cougars. That's on Calvin Sampson. Can't coach. You thought you was gonna go in there and bully that Blue Devil team, and they showed you for every punch you got to. In order to take pain, you got to be willing to. In order to give pain, you got to be willing to take pain. Mm-hmm. You wasn't willing to take pain, so that's why you lost.
Yeah. So now we got some good. We got some good predictions coming up at the end of the show due to these shakeups. And let's see here. Michigan has hired Dusty May.
Bring Jawan back. Bring Jawan back.
Free Jawan. We're gonna get some t-shirts.
Jawan back. This guy about to do worse than Jawan. Bring Jawan back.
Now, what did I say 2-3 weeks ago when they said Jawan was fired? What did I say?
The replacement was going to be Casper the Friendly Ghost.
That's right.
Bring Jawan back.
That's right. That's what they got Casper over there right now.
You think your program was terrible when he was there? Your program about to hit the basement. Bring Jawan back.
Well, we shall see, said the blind man to the dead dog.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This guy, you won't have a player on your roster out of Detroit because he's not going to recruit in Michigan. You're going to get kids out of Cranbrook. Maybe you might get an Oak Park kid or something. God, you think, okay.
But you just said he's not going to recruit out of Michigan.
What I'm saying is, football is going to be your golden realm because it's about to really go to the toilet. Then go call Jawan and tell Jawan you made a mistake. You're welcome to come back. Bring the whole staff back. This whole
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Say that again. I'll get bad service. I got bad service. Well, that's what Jawan gonna say. Steven says he has won everywhere he's been. Took a Florida Atlantic to the Final Four. Do I think it's a bad hire? No, I don't.
Florida. Where's Florida Atlantic? Where's Florida Atlantic located, Mr. Harris? In Florida, right? Okay, so my thing to Steve's comment, because he messed with me, so I'm gonna mess with him, and I love that. I'm glad that he commented. You really think this guy gonna take y'all to the tournament? And please don't say yes, because you're not going. You're not going nowhere. See, of course he's going to say yes. You're going to – Tom is about to eat y'all up twice. Dude in Indiana is what's my man name? The coach used to coach the Knicks. He going to beat y'all. Yeah, he going to beat y'all. Your game's going to be like Minnesota. You might. Penn State, you might. Ohio State, you won't. Wisconsin, you won't. Northwestern, you won't. Go call Jawan. Go call Jawan back, man. I'm just telling you. Go call Jawan back. Here's one even better. Since he used to work for ESPN, go hire Jalen Rose. Bring the band back. Because this hire right here, it's 2024. He'll be gone by 2028. Tops.
All right. So you gave Jawan 5. You giving him 4.
I gave Jawan 5. How many did Jawan get?
5.
Okay. 4 tops.
Okay. All right. I honestly think, as much as I joke about him being a Casper and they was going to bring in Casper, I think it's a pretty decent hire because sometimes it's the best available for what you need. And going out there right now, a lot of these coaches, even though they're moving a lot, it's always going to be a little bit more movement right after the tournament's over. There's going to be normally a lot more movement.
Calipari was a good hire.
In Kentucky?
Yes. Calipari would have been a great hire. This guy, man, Florida Atlantic is you're on a whole nother stage. You got to figure the alumni base at Michigan. I'm talking football. Football is king there. Basketball is secondary. You didn't become relevant till the Fab Five. Since the Fab Five, you haven't did nothing. The only good thing you did was hire Jawan. That was part of the Fab Five. What did they do? Okay, with Beeline, yeah, you went to the championship. You lost to Louisville. The year before that, you didn't even. The year before that, you lost to Duke in the 4. You didn't have, yes, you didn't have thresholds and stepping blocks, but you haven't had nothing. At the end of the day, Steve Fisher was the best hire you ever had. Steve Fisher won you a national championship. Beeline didn't. Steve Fisher recruited 5 of the top 5 college freshmen in the country. Beeline didn't. Steve Fisher took the Fab Five to the championship 2 years in a row. Beeline didn't. We can go all day. It's only an hour show, but we can go all day. I can do this all day.
I think we go back just a little bit. I think, they were good in the early 80s with Wade and Relford and Gary. What's the other
Gary Grant?
Gary Grant. Yeah, so they won some Big Ten championships back then. Reason why I mention that because those were many nights me and my dad would sit out and watch those games on Channel 20 when the Michigan State games would come on Channel 20 and see those games. So yeah, they were decent back then. They won the Big Ten, but they didn't go very far beyond that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Steve Fisher. And do you know who the AD was that hired Steve Fisher? I'll tell you, Bo Schembechler. Rest in peace. Okay. He took over a Bill Frieder team in the middle of the year, and they won the national championship. Glenn Rice, Ramil Robinson, Lloyd Vaught, Terry Mills, all of them, Mike Griffin. Okay, what coach can do that in the middle of the year? And you played UNC with J.R. Reed. I mean, not J.R. Reed. J.R. Reed. You beat a P.J. Carlissimo Seton Hall team. Mm-hmm. Right.
Illinois was the toughest team that they played.
Who?
Illinois.
No. That year they won it? No.
Yeah, because Illinois had beat them twice that year. The toughest team mentally for them to get over to get to the final, to get to the championship was Illinois.
No. The toughest team that beat was Seton Hall. They won the chip.
No, what I'm saying.
They didn't win the chip. They didn't win the chip by beating Illinois.
I know, but what I'm saying, the toughest team, in my opinion, the toughest team that they beat in that tournament was Illinois because they had to get over the mental factor of losing to them twice in the regular season.
Well, that would be the same thing equivalent to Steve Fisher and them beating Ohio State. Ohio State won the Big Ten that year with Jim Jackson them, and they still beat them. So it's the team you beat. They beat Seton Hall to cut down the nets. Yep. They only beat Illinois to get further into the tournament. No. Seton Hall would have been the P.J. Carlissimo team was good. Raymond Ray Moss, all of them. Derek Walker, all that team was loaded.
They were good. But they were underrated because nobody really paid attention to them in the league that they played in.
They played in the Big East.
Yeah, but they weren't a premier team. The Big East back then was still Georgetown, St. John's. Seton Hall was not a premier team in the Big East. Big East was the premier.
You only had Georgetown, Syracuse, Seton Hall, and St. John's. That's it. Providence won nothing. What are you talking about?
But at the time, in terms of college basketball, the Big East was the preeminent college league behind the ACC, next to the ACC, I should say.
What year?
So for them, but they weren't. Seton Hall was not like a premier team in the premier team. It would be like, let's see, like
the only big horse right now in the Big East that year during that time in the 80s. During that time when they was only Georgetown and Seton Hall. Georgetown had Dikembe Mutombo, they had Pat Ewing, they had Alonzo Mourning. Syracuse had Billy Owens, Derek Coleman from Detroit, and they had what's his name? Adrian Autry. Them teams, that was it. After them three, that was it. UConn wasn't nothing. Providence wasn't nothing. Huh?
St. John's was always, I don't know, I can't remember the players.
Wasn't good. Not late 80s. No. The only person they had was Malik Sealy.
They was always in the conversation.
Huh?
They were always in the conversation. My point is,
you can always be in the conversation. Ohio State was always in the conversation.
Seton Hall was never in the conversation. They were good, but we didn't know anything about them.
Do you know who the point guard was for Seton Hall and in the late 90s?
No, I don't.
It's the coach that's the head coach of UConn right now. Bobby Hurley, brother. Danny Hurley was the point guard because they met up with Duke that year. That's what I'm. Dog, we can do this all day. I got that up here.
You got me on the names. You got me on the names. I agree.
Danny Hurley was the point guard the year when he hit the shot against Kentucky. They played Connecticut. They played Seton Hall in the 32. I think it was the battle of the Hurleys. Google it.
Right.
Yeah, we can do this all day. We only got 20 minutes left in the show, boy.
let's advance the program. We can still got to get to the women. All the number ones are still playing, and I think 3 of the 4, at least 2 of the 4 play today. We got some upsets. NC State was over Stanford, Colorado over Kansas State, and the biggest upset to me was Oregon State over Notre Dame. Yeah, Oregon State played a mental game more than a physical game. They got Hannah Hidalgo out the game with that nose ring.
Yeah, so, you know what? Now, that's crap, man. Let the girl put a Band-Aid over and let her play, man. What are we doing?
The rule says you're supposed to take all jury off. So I got a quick story. When I was coaching volleyball, we were playing our biggest rivalry. Okay. The rule says there should be no jury on the uniform or anything like that. And my assistant coach said, "Hey, coach, you see their best player. You see she got that on the silver thing on her shoelaces." And my eyes lit up. I'm like, I just got to wait till the right time to bring it to the referee's attention. Same thing that Oregon State did. Bring it to the referee's attention at the right time. She talked about in the beginning of the game. The referee said she was okay to play with it. It's covered up. But if I'm the coach, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Hey, no, she can't play with that. She can't play with that. So what did I do at the right time when they was just ahead just a little bit and I was out of timeouts? Hey, she got that on her foot. We got that. That's not supposed to be there. The rules say. So at this point, just like Oregon State made that girl go over there and take that off, that's 10 minutes her out the game. She got to come out the game. Hannah had to come out the 10 game. And so that's mentally, now she's mentally out the game. Her nose is hurting. To me, that's masterful. You got to be able to use what you got to get what you want in the right way. And that's exactly what they did.
Man, I lost all respect for you, man. Man, you went down to that level.
We're trying to win. We got to win.
So you're going to use everything you can to win.
I didn't tell nobody to go out there and punch nobody. I just made my sister coach made an astute observation that we used at the right time to make sure that we were in a position to win the game.
And y'all won the game.
Yep.
Because you told the ref that she had jewelry on her shoes.
Yep.
Man, you barred from the rest of this year of doing shows with me, man. Man, I would have never did nothing like that. That would have made
Every coach would tell you make sure you clean. You go to a track meet, 4x100, make sure everybody got on the same thing, same uniform, same shorts, same shoes. And when it comes to cheerleading, make sure everybody got on the same uniform, same shorts, same top, same hair. Down, I'm serious. One girl come out there that's a little off. The other coach from the other team let those officials know, and they get marked down. So everybody does it, man. If that's the rules, if it's a little bit of an edge you can use for that, you're trying to win. There you go.
I guess.
That's what it is. All right, let's see here. Let's see. All right, we got to moving forward a little bit. Almost forgot. Got to click, share. I want to thank people who joined our page, our team, the Sports Talk with Kamau and Felix team on Facebook. Thank you for doing that. We're going to have an opportunity for you to put the scanner up there to join, and we welcome everybody. Well, no matter where you are in the world, you can do that. I have people go back and see from around the world that watch the show in the middle of the night. They out trying to see what's going on in America, and they checking us out. So thank you for that. And once again, don't forget to click, share, and get on the phone and get your book. Gratefulness Journey every day. The one, Mr. Marcus Holmes, Mr. HR himself, and he also does. If you're trying to get a new job and you need some services in terms of how to interview, find that man. Go on LinkedIn, look that young man up. He get great services and at a great price. And, you don't do nothing for free, but it ain't cheap either, and it ain't free, but it's not expensive. So call that man. Call him up. He know what he doing. He know what he doing. All right, let's see here. We move forward. MLB. We're gonna spend a little bit of time on MLB as we move forward. The Tigers are 1-0, technically in first place, tied with another team. They won over the Sox on Thursday. Why are they not playing games back to back like that? I think they play again today, and I think everybody's played a few games at this point. The season started on Thursday. Opening day is coming up for us next week. I want to say Wednesday, Thursday at home next a week on Thursday, and that's almost like a national holiday in the Detroit area. Kids don't go to school, even if they're not going to the game, even if they're not going down to the tailgate. Everybody have a good time. Everybody go down to the old shillelagh.
Make sure you got it jotted down now. If the Tigers go to the World Series, I will don that garbage merch on the show.
Don't worry. Soon as they win it, I'm going to hit send on the button, and I'm already have your Amazon package on the way.
They got to go now. Now, even if they don't win, if they go, I will put on this show. I will have it, but I ain't know they ain't going, so I ain't worried.
Okay. So I'm hoping that they will turn things around. They had a great spring training season. They had the second best record in spring training. So hopefully that translates into the regular season, and they pick up some wins and do much better than before. All right, let's see. Speaking about the NCAA tournament really quickly, movement to NBA because of NIL. This is Stephen Harris. He said he predicted MSU won and done. Yes, they got in, and I didn't think that was going to pass more than one game myself. MSU was Michigan hockey for a trip to the Frozen Four. They both won last night, and some great games that went down to the wire. And Stephen agrees with me. Rules are rules. That's right. You got to go with the rules. And Stephen says go Tigers. Let's see here. Greg Greg says that Illinois is ranked 3 or 4 that year when Michigan played them to go to the championship. Let's see. It was the tournament at the middle of the season. All right. So Greg is locked in. I don't know why it's not coming up on the screen for me to see on this side. I did LinkedIn, send it to go over, but I think I know what happens. So I want to make sure to come up next week. I push one button too many. So we want to thank everybody who's out there in the LinkedIn space, in the YouTube space, Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. You can catch us on any of those platforms every Saturday while we're here, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern. And as you can see, we're having a lot of fun, talk about new stuff, old stuff, and everything in between in terms of sports. All right, let's see here. Red Wings, they are 36-30-7, 79 points, 4th place behind the Bruins. They're ahead by 20 points. They're on a 3-game losing streak. Right now, they're on the outside looking in. Let's see. That's 37-36. 36, that's what? 36 and 37 is their deck season's almost up. So they have like 5 games left. If I got the math correct, they have 5 more games left in the season. Will they make do you think they can make it?
Well, they'll make it. They'll be like you said, they'll get there.
Because right now they're on a 3-game losing streak. If they go to if they can win 4 out of the next 5, or 3 out of the next 5, I think they have a good chance. The question is, do they want to do it? Do they really want to?
All right.
No, seriously, do the team want to do it? Because when they were winning those games, and it was in like a lot of streaks. Their streaks was on the winning side, and they came back on the big losing side. The question is that once again is, do they want to win it? And that's what that's what we're looking at now. I don't know if they got mad because Stevie Eisman didn't bring in any help at the trade deadline. I don't know if they looked at it that way. But hopefully they can make some sense out of this and make it to the playoffs, because that's it right there. You extend your season, you make more money. You get a playoff check. Why would you not want to make the playoffs? Even if you lose in the first round, you're gonna get a first round check. You get more money to go. Get some more money to go to the casino. Get some more money to go to Cancun.
Right.
A lot of players live out of the country. That's your money to get on the plane. That's your trip money.
Correct.
Go make that money, man. Do what you need to do, because you're close. It's not like y'all last year where we knew last year at this point nobody was going.
Right.
Take the opportunity. All right. We are at the free Saturday portion of the program. Let's see, we had golf earlier. Let's see here. We can talk about the Frozen Four tonight. Is it tonight? Let's see here. Tigers. Red Wings play against the Panthers. What was the other one? Masters golf tournament. I have to admit, let me see if I can quickly pull something up on the Masters in terms of the field. I didn't expect that one, but that's okay. That's what we're here for. We can make a quick pivot. I've been saying for years I was going to go down there. It's in Augusta, and the Masters is April 11th to the 14th, so we got about 2 weeks before that. And let's see. Let's see the field. So far, let's see what we got in the field. Now, who's the other guy? Let's see here. Let's see who won. Let's see. Let me look really quick. Who won it last year?
Your guess is as good as mine. The green jacket.
Yeah, and they so cool out there. They like you can't even videotape all our every hole out there. You can only show video on this, and this hole. This hole you can't even look at.
No.
They got so much prestige. Gentleman by the name of Ram Koepka Mickelson, John Rahm Koepka Mickelson were the winners last year. And let's see, are they back? Freddie Couples, he's still out there playing. Tony Finau, he's a Delta product. He's sponsored by Delta. Let's see here. Dustin Johnson, Zach Johnson. Brooks Koepka, he's back. You know what? We should do a you pick him on the golf tournament. What you think?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see. You can only pick one person. We're gonna do that. We're gonna see. We're gonna do you pick him on the golf tournament. Thank you for that. Let's see here. What was the other one they said we should talk about? Let's see. What's the other topic?
What was it? Golf tournament and something else.
Let's see. I think that was it. I knew it was another. Somebody said something else. Let me go further back up. Let me see if Greg put something on the other chat. So this is the fun part. You can go from place to place looking at stuff. So this is why we need an intern, a nice young intern who don't mind working in the background and doing stuff. All right, but I think we're gonna leave it right there because we coming close towards the end of the show. So of course, at this point, we're gonna make a quick pause for the cause as we jump into Stoopid Sports News. All right. I got a carryover topic for Stoopid Sports News this week. We don't have a lot of time for it, because we got a lot of predictions to get to. But they're saying now that the Ohtani thing with the best friend, that was sports gambling. It's turned into a sports gambling investigation. And was he sending money home to bet on sports back home, or was he betting on it here and kind of money laundering it? So that's they sent the guy home, but they didn't charge him with anything. He wasn't brought up on any charges. So I don't know if Ohtani said that I'm not going to charge him. I'm not going to go after him. Is he in the middle of it? Does he know? Did he know all the time what was going on? Sure. It's looking like it's turned into almost like a gambling, and they said you can tell it's something fishy because they said it really quickly and they left it alone. Normally, when if it's something, they could keep harping on it. Like Caitlyn Clark. Everybody loves Caitlyn Clark. This is a story we can't get away from. And they're kind of doing the same thing a little bit with but in the opposite direction with Ohtani. This is going to be interesting. What's actually going to come now, because it's probably going to be more money, and of course, there's more people involved. It's definitely going to be more people involved with this when it's all said and done. July 4th, the Rocket Mortgage Classic, which is in And is that the? I know it's in Michigan. Is it still in Flint or is it downriver, Steve? I want to try and get to at least another tournament. I've been to a tournament before. I went to a women's tournament years ago back in East Lansing. One of the coolest things you ever want to see, how they had the tents and stuff set up, and you go get to talk to the people, and the players come in. It's pretty cool. So they playing that in Detroit. Okay, all right. Or is that the one in Bloomfield Hills, the golf club out there? But
That's
cool.
the one in Palmer Park, I believe.
I thought they closed that one and made it to a conservatory. They closed one of them.
No,
unless they're doing the one on the east side.
Oh no,
It's three clubs in the city of Detroit. The one on the east side,
correct.
River Rouge, and Palmer Park. I thought they closed. I thought they sold Palmer Park to be a bird and flower conservatory. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Detroit Golf Club. Well, I guess what must be still open then. I stand corrected because somebody has sent me a documentary talking about how they, I guess they must open it back up. I'm really happy if they did. All right, as we go down to the close, our next show is April 6th, which is next week, which will be after the tournament. We'll have two champions on the men and women's side. And
no. Because this week is just
You're right. I'm sorry. We'll know who the Final Four is on both teams next week. My bad. That's my bad. And the championships will be Monday and Tuesday. My bad. Last week on predictions, we both were 2-2. This week we got 8 opportunities for predictions. We're gonna start with the men.
8-0 right here. I'm claiming it. I'm about to go 8-0 right here. I'm claiming.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna start with Duke and NC State. Who you got?
The Dukies.
Okay. What's your score?
Give me 79-67.
I'm gonna go with Duke as well. 89-67. Let's see. Now we have UConn, Illinois.
UConn.
Okay. They tough. They looking, man. They beat them by 30.
62-49.
That's about right. I'm with you on that one. UConn, I think they're gonna score a little bit more. 75-55. Alabama, Clemson. We got an SEC matchup. No, I'm sorry, a good football matchup.
Give me Clemson.
Okay. What's your score?
75-69.
75-69. And I'm gonna go with Alabama on this one. I like Alabama. Pretty close game, 75-74. And we got Purdue, Tennessee.
Purdue. 82-79.
At 279. This game is gonna be a topsy-turvy game. It's gonna come down to the last minute. And I really don't want to pick either team because to me this game should just end in a tie, and both teams play. One team play the first half, other team play the second half against the other winner. Because it's just something about that matchup that just don't look right to me. But I'm gonna go with Purdue. Seem like they since last year when they got beaten in the first round, they have a sense of urgency. So I'm gonna go 77-71. And go jump over to the ladies. We got the first game we talked about. Iowa, Colorado. What you got?
Me, Colorado, 75-72.
I hope that's what's gonna happen. But the NCAA ain't gonna let that happen. They gotta have that matchup. They gotta have LSU, Iowa again, part 2, so somebody can do this in somebody's face again. We got to see part 2. So I'm gonna go with Iowa. And it's gonna be they're gonna take a little business over there. I like 82-65. All right, we got LSU, UCLA.
LSU 83-79.
All right, and I'm gonna go with LSU too, so we can have a matchup again. And I think LSU gonna stretch them a little bit more on this side on this game too. I'm gonna say 81-63. UConn Duke.
UConn. UConn gonna beat Duke. Yeah. Gino Armor. Yeah. UConn 81-68.
I think I like UConn, but in a little bit closer of a game, I like UConn 75-74. I think it's going to be a much closer game than that. These are two really good programs. And USC and Baylor go round us out.
USC 82-75.
All right, 82-75 USC. And I like man, Juju been killing them. She been killing them. Do I want to stick with USC? I see an upset with this one, but I'm not crazy enough to pick it. I'm gonna go with USC. I'm gonna go. I think it's gonna be a low scoring game. 55-57, 57-55 USC. All righty. What up, though, Mr. Brown? Gave you a good shout out this morning to you and your family, brother. We love you. Thank you for coming out this morning. Let's see here. We got to jump on the NCAA brackets tournament. Let's see. Right now, Mr. Wood, Donald Wood, good buddy of mine living out in Arizona now. He is in the lead. Ryan Peoples. He normally wins every year. He's in second place. Mr. Trail, Mr. Duke, I know he's watching us. Good luck to your Dukies today. He's in third place. Edward Hughes, fourth, myself in fifth, and Miss April Haley is in sixth place. Let me look at the women's. Last week when I looked at the women's, it had nobody winning. Right now, everybody has picked South Carolina to win it. So Lance Shannon is in first place. James is in case they're not showing his full last name, is in second. Ryan Peoples is in third. Donald Wood is in fourth, and they got me in fifth. But the funny part is everybody picked South Carolina to win it. So if South Carolina don't win it, I don't think it'll be hard for anybody to win the whole thing. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for coming out. Please be safe over this holiday weekend. Don't eat too much. Don't eat too many Easter eggs and mess up your stomach and make all your coworkers mad on Monday because you go in there and you have some flatulence. So, see everybody next week on April 6th. Thank you for coming out. We really do appreciate it. Have a great weekend and see everybody soon.
All right.